What's going on, people? It is the 2nd of June today. Monday, the 2nd of June, 1:11. It's great now that I have this new computer that I can look at the time at the top. What's going on? I've successfully, if I can get the word out, hired my first virtual assistant. Um, just did the onboarding call with her today. So just running through exactly, what I'm wanting to do, the rota, the resources that I'm going to give her. Any questions that she could ask me now, so I was able to go through it. And then other than that, basically let her know that I'm going to send all over the details all over to her in terms of like the CRM systems. Give her access to things, as well as a video. And I need to write this down exactly what I need to send over to her. It's kind of like, I started to see the same like comparisons, like say like your house and a tenant, or like you've got an investor. So with an investor, you know what I mean, you have to quite qualify them. Same thing with a tenant. Same thing with the virtual assistant, and then you send things over, whether that's the deal source and agreement, whether that's agreement with the tenant, as well as the information like the certificates and stuff, and send over exactly what you want them to do. So the process is kind of all the same. It's just like the actual things that you need to send over are different. Do you know what I mean? So, um, yeah. So I need to send things over to her. I've also got there's also just a few things at the back of my head that I need to think of in terms of my HMO. So my landlord, it seems to be that his payments, he's backing up his payments, for like the electric bill, the gas bill. Well, not a gas bill, the electric bill. And I'm like, bro, what is this guy doing? So I've had to send him an email, and it's annoying because I don't. I, obviously, I'm starting. Well, obviously, it is business, and obviously, the more I go into it, I start to realize that I've got to be this person, even though I don't necessarily want to. You want to be nice, you want to be yourself, but you've got to be firm with it. So that's a grown ass man. I've had to send him an email, say, just to make you aware that your payments are backed up. If you haven't already seen, tenants have sent me reports of it being backed up, like the letters and stuff. Just to make you fully aware, when my name goes down on the bills, I will not be covering for all previous payments, only the ones coming ahead. I'm sure you're aware of this, but I just wanted to let you know. Do you know what I mean? It's not so much I'm telling him off or anything, but it's like it's kind of like, do you know what I mean? So I sent it over to him anyway, and he responded positively back. So he needs to get that sorted. Also, I didn't realize I didn't realize that I housed a convict, basically. Well, not a convict, an ex-offender. I because I'm not the best at doing checks on property management stuff. I did the general checks and anything like that, but I needed to ask if he's had any criminal convictions and stuff. And basically, when I was housing him, I didn't realize that the process that it was going to take was a bit longer. So I've still got one room left vacant, which he need to house him. He said he was going to send me the deposit and the rent over. I spoke to his probation officer. Now that I'm in the midst of it, it's like I feel the need to. It's like I spoke to his previous landlord and stuff. He's been paying rent consistently. He's been doing really well. So I thought, you know what, I'll just give him the opportunity. Since I'm already in it now. Um, and just see how it is, because as long as he's paying rent, that's all that matters. So I need to get this sorted now, because I think normally with these convictions and stuff, it's like social housing. What I'm trying to do. They don't necessarily have all the people in there straight away, because there's certain checks that they've got to do, and it's a bit longer. And but he said, which I need to follow him up today, that he's going to pay the rent, pay the deposit today, and get it all sorted. That's all I'm asked about. Even if he's not moved in today, you could take another week, but pay me the fucking rent right now, because I've got rents due. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of bizarre seeing that, all the way from about 13,000, 14,000 in my account, all the way to less than £2,000 in my account now. And that's come from deposits on my car, payments on my car, little bits and bobs like networking events, things like that, which I've had to pay like bundles for. Of course, my training. Where's the other thousands? Oh yeah, my property. So it's all these thousands that add up, and you really start to see it like, wow, all these thousands are gone. But this is what I've realized, that is as much like people will just keep that money there to try and keep it safe because they like the look of it. But it's not going to get you nowhere in life. Do you know what I mean? So the quicker you start to understand that you need to use that money, the quicker you can grow and get better and start to make more money. Um, So yeah, that's what's been going on. That's what I'm going to send over. Also to that, I've been applying for jobs after job after job. Because obviously my whole idea now, which I'll explain again, is to be able to, I've stopped the deal sourcing completely now. I don't want to explain again why I've stopped doing that, but basically I've stopped doing that now. My idea is now to get this VA to outsource the low level tasks, which even though the low level they're still important, um, and make it so I can have a rota designed around my rota. Ideally, I want 4 days a week through the week, and I want to do weekends as well. So 6 days a week, but my day off is on the weekday. And I've explained this before, based on the fact that um, because housing associations might not be on opens on the weekends. So if they need to do meetings, they could do it with me through that weekday where I'm off work, as well as when I go over to the properties, that day could be used to go into estate agencies because they're not open on the weekends. So that's essentially what I want. Basically 4 on 4 off through the week. And then on the weekend I can do the same job or a different job, whatever it might be. Um, so yeah, I've been applying like nuts. Some of these fucking application forms are so long. Like I remember I was doing Royal Mail the other day, and Royal Mail, mate, it was taking me like half an hour. I was like, bro, what's going on? Do you know what I mean? Like, which is annoying, but it's got to be done. Once you've got one that you find suitable, then it's good. And this is the thing with me. I don't just want to go into anything. I want to do something where I know I can do long term. Something that I have interest in at least, not in terms of doing my whole life, but temporary. Delivery driving job or a job where I could sit down, because it's like people that stand up for 8 hours straight, mate, fuck knows how. Delivery driving, I think it's a combination of both. You can sit down, you're outside, and with me, I like fast pace because it makes the hours go quicker. That's why working at Nando's, you say to yourself, you stand up 8 hours a day, but the thing is, because of the pace of it, it makes it go quicker. Do you know what I mean? And obviously the people there, so it makes it work better. But if you're working alone, then it's good. And that's ideally what I'd like with obviously working your own pace. Obviously, you'll still have certain targets to reach. But anyway, I'm going a bit too much into that. So that's essentially what's going on. This new computer that I've got as well, this MacBook, this pristine MacBook. I've basically, I'm trying to get it so the screen I can get screen recordings on here now, and a facing it. I watched a YouTube on it, and it's a website called Loom. Unfortunately, it only does 5 minute videos, which my videos tend to last from anywhere between 5 to 10, 15 minutes anyway. So it's not the end of the world. Do you know what I mean? And it will help me show people the actual proof of exactly what I'm doing. But I want to talk about mindset as well. These minutes go quick. Do you know what I mean? But the main thing that I want to talk about is mindset. Um, so I've been having thought after thought after thought after thought about exactly who I want to be and what I want to do, and I know exactly what I want to do. It's more about who I want to be. I want to make this my absolute sole focus. When I wake up, this is all I'm thinking about. When I go to sleep, this is all I'm thinking about. And the time between, this is all I'm thinking about. And everything I'm doing is in order to progress myself in this. Because what I'm trying to achieve, I can't half-ass it. And even though I don't necessarily half-ass it, I'm doing tasks which involves, maybe going online or social media, or it's especially the mindset of which I'm trying to set for myself, and be able to, take suitable time to be able to just sit down here and understand that this is what I'm doing every single day to be able to get this and why. Like I need to implement in my brain that this is where I'm going to be, and actually because what I'm trying to achieve is something what people would say delusion. Do you know what I mean? Like some people say it's not possible, but I know it's possible because people are doing it, and I've never got to that position where I felt like, oh my god, this is like I'm somewhere else. Do you know what I mean? And that's exactly where I want to be, and I want to be able to look at my life and say, wow, this is where I am now. I've made it. Do you know, I've got this money, and I'm only going up, and it's going to take me a long time to get there, but and when I've been like fully get there, quite a bit of a while, but the steps that I've talked about previously, getting these properties, making them work, getting once a month, getting this 300, £500 passive income, that is what I want to succeed in. And I know I can do it, but these little defeats that get me every single day, these messaging these girls or going on social media, or just watching porn, like I'm being honest, you know what I mean? Like those are things where what this is in the back of my throat, man, that I need to 100% stop, because they are the ones that add up to these little defeats are the ones that add up to like a big thing, like how do I say it? They add up to like to make the day feel like I've not done anything, because I've been defeated on such a little thing. It's like the bigger task I feel like there's no point doing, because I can't even like I'm always with the if how you do one thing's how you do everything. And so I want to implement not motivation, sorry, meditation, to do on a daily basis, an actual full process that I have. And it doesn't have to necessarily be do you know what I mean? But it's like, because I heard David Goggins talk about how he does it 2 hours a day, or 2 hours every now and then. And for me, it's like, that's coming from a person where they've had a really hard life. Um, they've had a really hard life. They're so hardworking now, and they've literally given you free tips on what they're doing to be able to, get themselves in that mindset. And that's exactly what I want to do. And I know that for me to go where I want to go, and the things that I'm going to have to do in order to get there can be no distractions. There can be no girls, and there's even a girl in work that I keep contemplating every single time, like, oh, I like her. Do you know what I mean? And it's like every single time I see her, like, she just fucks up my whole day. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like I know that, well, I don't know if I'm 100% sure, but I just have this feeling that she doesn't like me. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, I've got to stop all that. I've got to stop all thinking about all this bullshit, because it doesn't matter. Do you know, it doesn't matter. Like, I know for myself, if I put myself in that situation, not only is it going to take time away from me, it's going to take money away from me. And it's like, I'm in the mood for heartbreak at the minute. Do you know what I mean? That can focus on later on. Like, but I'm just being honest now, so obviously I'm able to look back and just understand the position that I was in, and understand what the fuck I'm trying to achieve. And hopefully, not even hopefully, I know it can't be hopefully, because it's like, if I implement it today, right now, today, then in the future I'm going to be in a position where my head's forward, my head's straight, and there might be little ups and downs between the process. Well, there will be, no matter what. But if I'm able to implement a specific rota strategy for me to follow every single day, and no matter what, then I'm just going to be 10 times better for my mindset, and it's just going to make my work 10 times better as well. So yeah, that's what's going on, and thank you.